Hey TJ, good morning to you. Yeah, over my shoulder they're starting to lay out the flags for the firefighters memorial celebration that's going to happen here. It's going to begin in a couple hours. They had the first wreath laying not long ago, and they're putting those flags up, one to represent each firefighter, 343 who lost a life on 9/11. Nicole Simpson, though, is a survivor. She was working on the 73rd floor of Tower 2 when the first plane hit Tower 1. And so she started making her way out of the building, going out the stairs. After that, of course, the story changes. It's nice to have you, Nicole. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
They made an announcement that the building was secure and started telling everybody to go back up to their offices. So you started heading back upstairs. What happened?
Well, they made the announcement, but they didn't indicate that we could go back upstairs. But I thought, well, if the building is secure, then I didn't have to evacuate at that time. And so when we got down to the 44th floor, because my two assistants and my receptionist was with me, then we made the decision to go back upstairs, got on the elevator, and instinctively got off the elevator. And I just say it was really divine intervention and act of God that pulled us off that elevator.
Why did you decide not to get on the elevator?
Well, I just instinctively just felt that we didn't need to get on the elevator. I really, again, I attribute it to it being a miracle in my life and it being an act of God.
What happened to that elevator?
Well, the elevators came crashing down not even 30 seconds later, and the door that I was standing in front of didn't open. But people alongside of me, they perished because when the Tower 2 was hit, the elevators, when they came crashing down, fireballs began to explode just based off of the impact. So people alongside of me did not fare well, but the elevator that I was standing in front of did not open.
You have said that you feel like there has not been a lot of attention given to survivors' stories over the last 10 years.
It hasn't. I mean, much information has been given, and compassion and empathy to the families of the deceased and the first responders, justifiably so, but the survivors have endured some trauma and some personal issues themselves that story has not been addressed. And my concern is that every year when 9/11 rolls around, there's attention that's granted to it, but we're still trying to heal. We're still trying to get our lives together again. Many people are significantly depressed, have lost their jobs, lost their places of residence because they've not been able to cope with just the trauma of what they've endured, the images that are forever etched in my mind.
So anniversaries like this, is it just brutal for you to make it through this month?
Well, I think it depends on the given year. I mean, some years are easier for others to cope with, and I think it's really based off of what's going on in their lives. Like I can tell you, year 5, there was a lot of media attention given to it, but year 7 was my absolute worst year. And then, of course, this year it started a lot earlier because a decade is a long time to evaluate what's been going on in an individual's life. So it's a perfect opportunity to reflect, and we do that in our own lives.
TJ, Nicole has written a book. It's called 9/11/01, A Long Road Toward Recovery, where she wrote a lot about her experiences. And I should mention that the survivors also, people who did not lose a family member on 9/11, those survivors also are not invited to the ceremonies at Ground Zero where you are, which I think some of them have found very, very difficult. The only thing I'll add to you is, I remember that day so clearly, and it was actually, there was not a cloud in the sky. It was much warmer than today. It was literally the most perfect day. And of course, everything would change not long after 8:30 in the morning. Back to you, TJ.